Okay, welcome to the Town of Deerfield Selectboard Board of Health Sewer Commissioners meeting for April 15th, 2026. It is tax day. Remember to file your taxes. Public service announcement. Time 6 p.m. This is a hybrid meeting, both on Zoom and in the main meeting room at 8 Conway Street, South Deerfield. This meeting will be held in a hybrid fashion with the opportunity for both in-person attendance and remote participation. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy of the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast. Unless otherwise required by law, members of the public with a particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. The meeting will be held in person in the main meeting room of the Deerfield Municipal Offices. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 38, anyone intending to record the meeting must identify themselves to the clerk and provide their name and address for the record. So call the meeting to order. We have public comment. This should be a fairly short meeting. Our agenda has kind of dwindled a bit, so we're really just trying to get on track back to this Wednesday cycle. So just finishing up some quick stuff. Any public comment? We have nobody online. We've got public comment. Welcome. Come on up. Introduce yourself and speak into the mic.
Peter Lankowski, Stage Road.
Welcome.
Welcome. Me too. I'd like to ask everyone, but mostly Alex, because I've been listening about Elm Street, and I want you to feel really welcome. So, during construction, I have a concern when they're going to be doing a lot of construction detours and the Leary lot. I really wouldn't like to see a lot of cars in addition to what should be at Leary lot. A lot of times they'll close a lane or just because it's convenient. Well, I don't think that is a place to have a detour.
Mm-hmm.
And just for multiple cars backing, coming and going. And the other thing is, too, knowing the trades a little bit, they like to sneak a heavy piece of equipment where a heavy piece of equipment shouldn't go.
Right.
And I can really see it happening there because it's right downtown. How do you get over there quick?
Yeah.
You know, and we do it. So I don't know if there's something in the contract when it comes out that they set up barriers and have one-way traffic for during working hours.
Mm-hmm.
To make it so that nobody can go into the Leary lot just from the Cheslick side.
Mm-hmm.
Just a comment that I'd like
Thoughts?
people to think about.
Thank you.
all.
It's a good thought. Appreciate it. Any other public comment? All right, well, we'll jump in. First appearances with Treehouse Brewing Company regarding the summer stage events and half marathon, and I think Sarah was going to be here, but she's going to come later after some other meetings, I think, right?
Yeah, I think we'll probably have her on the agenda for April 29th.
Okay, sounds good. So we're just going to pass over this for now. Okay. Select Board reports and announcements. You've got something, Blake? Yeah, go ahead.
It was brought to my attention that they're going to be paving North Hillside.
Yep.
And one of the problems they have up there is the speed limit's at 35. Some of the residents have asked to see if they could lower it to 30, because once that pavement goes down, that's a nice straightaway, and you've got a lot of young kids that are growing up in that area. So I think it's something we should be looking at.
Okay. Talk to Chief about that for sure. Any other items?
And yeah, ask Chief to if we can put one of the speed controller electronic devices just to remind people that they're speeding.
It helps for sure when I see it.
That Matt talked to me about this morning. He's got 2 new ones coming in. He's going to put one right up there.
Oh, good. That's great. That's good. That'll help. So let's see. I attended the MAFCO, which is Mohawk Area Public Health Coalition meeting last night, which was a training. It's a 2-part training on emergency communication. So when you're having an emergency going on, how you communicate, what you communicate, who should communicate, all of those kind of things. So that was about an hour and a half last night. And then on the 28th, we have a tabletop exercise that'll be at FERCOG if anyone wants to go to that. So trying to think what else we have. had a meeting today, working out the furniture for the 1888 building, which is exciting. I don't have anything else. Anybody else? No?
I just wanted to ask Christopher Dunn, are we going to talk about the Tilton Library Committee recommendation tonight?
I was planning on having that on the agenda for the 29th as well,
Oh, okay.
just because I haven't contacted D.A. Sullivan at this point, so.
Oh, okay.
So I did-
All right.
All right. Let's see. Any Board of Health items? You were going to talk about
Change of hours?
change of hours, but is that coming next meeting?
Yeah, I think we're going to do that at a different
Okay.
meeting as
All right.
well. I did want to mention, we did talk about the air sensors a little bit.
Oh, good.
So, again, I think we're looking at having one over here, and then we were trying to find an appropriate location for another one. There was some discussion with Matthew about the DPW garage.
Yeah.
Matthew pointed out that with all the diesel.
Yeah, that probably
kind
isn't very accurate.
So, still looking for a spot. It's got to be elevated a certain number of feet off the ground. So, I don't know if we solicit some.
Pilot or
Yeah.
Orful or something?
one of them,
I got a
yeah.
small building.
Yeah,
Wonder if that
so
would help.
maybe we'll reach out and see if
Yeah.
anyone's willing to take it on.
See if they'd look. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So we have a couple of sets of minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for April 8th, 2026, regular Select Board meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchey, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. And then I'll make a motion to approve the April 13th, 2026 Select Board Executive Session minutes.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Tim Hilchey, aye.
Blake
Thank you.
Gilmore, aye.
Again, thank you for staying current on our stuff. Oh, Trevor McDaniel, aye. Yep, sorry. Zipping along. So we have discussion items. We have a one-day malt and wine liquor license, so for Yankee Candle. So I'll make a motion I move the Select Board approve the issuance of a one-day malt and wine liquor license to Yankee Candle Village, 25 Greenfield Road, South Deerfield, for the Girls' Night Out event to be held on Thursday, May 7th, 2026, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., subject to compliance with all applicable state laws, town rules and regulations, and the conditions of approval recommended by the Police Department. So, we have a
Second.
second. Thank you. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Oh, any other?
Yeah, that they lower the amount of paperwork for that.
Yeah. We had talked about doing a kind of a yearly approval for entities that do this all the time, but I don't know if we've gotten there yet. So, or if there's logistics around that. Maybe there are. So we'll sign. So all those in favor? Did we do this already? Hold on.
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchey, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye.
Trevor, it's fine just to have you sign for this because we've changed the whole process now.
Oh, just one signature? Okay.
That's a good step.
That's one step. Move the meeting along. Let's see. And I think we're skipping over the ratifying the memorandum of agreement for the health insurance benefit change, right?
Yeah, I can give a brief update
That'd be great.
really quick. So, this is part of the health insurance reform process we adopted back in 2017. Now, obviously, trying to make some plan design changes this year. We are in the 30-day negotiation period with our unions, making good progress, and anticipate wrapping up in the next couple of weeks. But we're not quite ready to ratify the agreement just yet. So,
Great.
still just trying to basically finalize whether they want cash or check, so to speak.
Great.
So yeah, should be wrapped up pretty shortly.
Okay, that's great. We're going to pass over the poll worker appointments until Cassie's ready for that, a
Correct.
little later in the year. And then the SCEMS Chief Screening Committee members, do you need us to vote members yet?
Nah,
or
we're
not yet?
Yeah, we're
You're
good for
pretty
the
good on
moment,
that? Okay. Told you it's going to be a quick meeting. Maybe you were going to give some updates. You've got the Recreation Department
Yeah.
Deerfield and
Yep. Yeah, a couple updates. I did want to make the board aware of a couple events that are coming up that PD looped us into. The Friends of the Franklin County Regional Dog Shelter is having a bike ride on June 27th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. that day. They estimate 100 to 200 participants. It's a 30-mile route.
okay.
And so far, PD doesn't see any need for additional work around that, but we'll see if it happens to grow. Similarly, we've got a Rootstock Racing relay event on September 19th. And then just a couple of quick items I wanted to make the board aware of. The 116 bridge deck replacement is moving forward. We've gotten final design documents from MassDOT on that.
Okay.
So
Good.
Probably going to be a pretty boilerplate project, but just wanted to make sure the board was aware.
It's going to
and
snarl
then-
traffic for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
with everybody
it's-
getting off and on 91
Yeah.
right there,
Yeah.
coming down 116. Yep.
And then Gabby let us know they are making some updates to Memorial Field. She's gotten some volunteers from the varsity team to help them put on what she calls 40/60 and 50/70 base paths. So
Okay.
I don't quite know what that means.
Sounds professional.
I thought I knew baseball, but
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah.
ah, okay.
All right.
Gotcha. She says it's going to be about $3,000 in total.
Yeah.
And she's hoping to get some sponsors also to put up some banners to defray the cost. So,
Do we have some funds set aside for that? I
well,
think
so
we
it's
could
it's
probably-
yeah, we have. I mean, she has her revolving fund,
Right,
so that's
exactly.
what she's using.
Okay,
Yep.
good. That's great. Yeah, it'd be good to see some.
Yeah, and I think
Cool.
that's. Oh, yeah.
Christopher, the bike race,
Yes.
is there a map on that as to where it's going to be?
Yes. There for the.
Oh.
I had one for the dog shelter
Right.
bike
Yeah.
ride. And I can send that along if it's not in your packet already.
The dog shelter one's
The
here.
dog shelter is the one I was asking about. The other one is
No, that's
the-
this one.
Isn't that the food bank?
Oh, the food
the
bank.
food bank is I think it's on the
The Kumo or
20th, the September 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's in there.
So this bike ride's going to actually not be in just Deerfield. It's going to be in
Correct,
Turner as well.
yeah, it's-
Okay,
yeah.
that's the one. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
Okay.
you.
Do they have a requirement for dogs to chase the bike list?
And in some cases, to pull the bikes.
And then there was an update on the National Grid upgrade of the lines.
Yeah,
Saw
and they
that.
they've been keeping folks in the loop.
Yep.
Obviously, they're making some changes to the transmission lines there. That's just a document we're probably going to post to the website. It has
Yeah.
a nice kind of synopsis of what the project is, how long it'll take, and
Yeah.
you can scan a QR code to get
Yep.
updates on it. So we'll put that on the website as well.
It looks like they're not starting construction till spring. of
Yeah, they're in the
2028.
permitting stage right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. Yeah. Okay, good. I was going to ask about one other thing. Oh, the and maybe it's Memorial Day committee. If they met for the, trying to think of when that. I mean, that's going to come up fairly soon. So I know that Carolyn Burns was looking at doing the run, and she usually does a run blue or wear blue run, I think, for fallen soldiers. So. I know she was in touch with Chief and you, I think, on
Yeah.
stuff, but that'll be Memorial Day weekend, I think. So, nothing yet on that, so, okay, good.
I know they've met.
They have, yeah,
Yes.
good, okay, great. There was a community one-stop application period starting in May.
Yep.
Something about septage?
So, yeah, well, the Community One Stop is a combination of several different grant programs that open up. On Monday, the town was actually designated as a rural and small town housing community of choice. So it just,
Very nice.
yeah, it means that it's one more pot of funding that the town's eligible for. We also learned in talking with some of the state reps at the event that it's also a multiplier in some of the other grant programs that you could also be eligible for, including Clean Water Act and some of the
Okay.
other stuff. And so we've had a lot of conversations lately about septic, especially given some of the upgrades we need to do. We've had the townwide assessment with DPC, the engineers who've gone through and cameraed all of our sewer. And so this was just kind of a list of Matthew and I spitballing because The grant program allows a notice of intent to be submitted between now and the opening date, which is May 4th.
Okay.
So it's Star Wars Day coming right up.
Yay.
And the grant applications close, though, June 3rd. And so it's just kind of, I thought, like a good idea to reach out to you guys, help us prioritize, because there are a lot of floating ideas and things that have come up in other committees and obviously needs. But one of the projects we're kind of considering under the new Housing Committee of Choice, they do planning, engineering, design, permitting, and implementation capital grants. So we were talking about maybe considering doing some engineering and design work around accepting private septage at the South Deerfield wastewater treatment plant. It would require connecting into the current system. It'd be a new area we'd need to figure out. It's already a pretty tightly configured space. And it's something that I know both Eric Meals, the operator, and DPW Superintendent Matthew we've kind of talked about in conversation with the engineers. Another option would be to, using the current assessment work we just received back, working on some of the sewer and drain improvements and
Right.
some of the structure improvements that DPC identified as,
Yep.
going to need work in the near future anyway.
Right.
That would be a very easy grant. Oh, and sorry, the grant's up to $500,000 for capital improvement
Great.
grants. So,
That'd be wonderful.
so it's a pretty good pot of money, and there's no match requirement.
Right.
And then we've also talked about, under a couple other different grant programs, we've talked about wayfinding signage under DLTA through FERCog, and so we could do that. We could do a housing production plan, or we could do master planning work under the Community One Stop. So
We
it
do
is
need to do
a
master
combination of so many grant
Yeah.
opportunities, which is
Yeah.
great, but it also
plan. A lot of
means
work.
a lot of work in a very short amount of time.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
So I just figured, at least start the conversation, bring it to you all, kind of, we
Yeah.
can have more conversations, and obviously we can move it forward, but just to pitch these at
Sure.
first in a public setting.
So the septage, I know that it's been wanted in town for a long time. Our engineer was not excited about it, but they, just because of the cost that it would take to put it in. But if there's a grant, that's helpful. But I think Eric did have a plan that he had an idea of using the old square clarifiers as a
Right.
holding tank for it. So it may not be as expensive and
Mhm.
could benefit, the region for sure, and be a money resource for us a little bit if we took some in. So I think it's worth looking at for sure, because I kept hearing like, no, well, you can do it, but it's a lot of money, and because you have to dilute it. It's too strong when it comes in. So we have to kind of find a way. But it sounds like Eric might have a plan to do that. So I think it's worth doing. But I love the idea also of infrastructure work. We found some stuff on Sugarloaf that needs to be done, and a couple other areas. So yeah.
So
Tim?
do we have to figure out what it is, and did Matthew and Eric have a stronger feeling about one thing versus another?
I haven't asked Eric about his opinion. I mean, Matthew both would be great. Right, for different reasons. The
Right.
financial, incentive plus being able to service our residents more is
Mhm.
one of the things he's asked or has heard multiple times.
Yeah.
But also, maintaining our current infrastructure is also equally important.
Yes,
So,
sure, absolutely.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's hard to decide which is more important. We could throw in for both.
yeah.
We're not limited on the
Just intent.
application number,
Right.
but
Great.
yeah.
That's exciting.
And I can throw in notices of intent, and then we
Sure.
could just see how the feedback comes back.
Right.
It's a pretty short, one paragraph.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. That sounds great.
Oh, and sorry, just forgot. We just had our senior housing meeting, and we also talked about they were interested in putting in an RFP or a notice of intent for potentially demoing the St. James Church and Rectory.
Okay.
Because it might be needed in the site development. We had the site walkthrough today,
Okay.
and it seemed most of the 5 respondents that came from the firms were, pretty quickly in and out of the buildings. And so
Yeah.
relatively indicative that reuse was going to be pretty cost prohibitive and difficult.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So just so it's out there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Let's go outside and enjoy the weather. Entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So
Motion
moved.
to adjourn.
Thank you. I'll second. All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchey, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Thank you all very much.